Good evening. Welcome back to the Man Cave. Not too long ago, we unboxed Dragon Isles. Today, I want to do a brief review and maybe talk a little bit about how to play. So right here, you see the setup for a 3-player game. We have the pirate, the monk, and the warrior. 2 other people, the sorcerer and the trader, are sitting over still in the box. This game's a little bit more complicated for this realm than some of their previous games. In Dragon Wood, you were rolling dice with cards and trying to get almost like a Yahtzee type thing. In the second game, in Dragon Realm, you're doing worker placement, so you're still rolling the dice, using the cards, trying to get runs or the same number in the same color, or the same number, the same color, or a run. And that's the same category that we've got here. If you look at this card right here, it says that you can conquer it by sneaking, by stealing, or by striking. If you sneak, that means that you're getting a run, numbers in a row. And you want to start with at least 3, and you can go up to 6. The second number, and then if you have 3 cards that are the number, then that's how many dice you roll. So as you can see here, if you were going to sneak, you need an 11. Well, you can't do that with 3 dice. Unless you roll exactly perfect, because the dice have 1 1, 2 2s, 2 3s, and 1 4. Yeah. So unless you got 3 4s, that's not very likely. But if you get 4 cards, and this is your hand is right here, you start with 5 cards. After those 5 cards, you can either, like, let's see what in my starting hand here, I have look at that, 2 3 4, or 2 6s. So the 2 6s, that's not helpful because you want to have at least 3. But with this, 2, 3, 4, that's a good sneak number. So I'd want to look at what numbers are low for sneak. What's the number on that one? 11? Mm-hmm. This one doesn't have a sneak. This one's 11. This one's 12. So that's not very good. I wouldn't want to do anything with that right now. So I would do what they call prepare. So instead of trying to conquer a land, I would prepare, which means I can draw 2 cards. So if I look at my hand, those 2 cards are not very helpful right now. So I would probably just want to see what this one is. Well, that's a 1. So look at that. That goes to my 1, 2, 3, 4. My second card, since I'm still doing pretty good with this, I'd want to take this. It's a 10. So that'll go over here because that's not helpful unless, if you look here, I have 4 cards of the same color now. So 4 cards of the same color, that's a strike. So if we look at the strike numbers, this one's a 10.
This is the same card.
Okay. And this one's a 14, but this 14 also gets you a coin. That's where this game's a little bit different than some of the other games. We get a little more fiddly. Each of these has a different symbol on them. Those symbols are represented by these big tokens over here. Whoever has the most of those gets the token, and when you count up your scores at the end, you get these bonus points. So as you can see, you conquer a realm, you get those points. Like this one would be worth 3, 3, 3, 3. So those are all worth 3. This one is 1 dragon. This one is 1 dragon. This is 2 of these little fox things. And those are these guys right here. So what happens is, if somebody had, and none of them came up that way. All right, so if one person gets this and nobody else has one, then they would get this token. See, for the land. So they have that. But then the next person, if they took this one, this one, then they would take this away from them because now they have 2. This person only has 1. There are 5 different types of things to take. There's the dragon, there's the little fox face thing, there's the demon guy, there's the land, there's these little freaky tree things. And I mean, I don't know how to say all these words, but you play off the symbol anyway. There's a little tree guy. See? Let's see, the demon dude. There we go. There's a little demon guy right there. So if you get all 5, then you get to take one of these things that says, oh, you got all 5. So that gives you 5 bonus points at the end, and it shows that you got all 5. This game can play up to 5 players. So here we have it set up for 3 with the other 2 sitting over there. So there's 5 of these because everybody could win that. The game ends when 1 player has 8 of these. As soon as you get your 8th one, the game's over, and then you count up your points. You get points from various different things. Primarily, it's the places you capture are worth points. If you have the most of one of those places, then you get the bonus 3 of having that kind. If you have the most of 2 places, 2 of the types, then you get 6 points. If you get all 5 of the types of tokens, then that's an extra 5 points. Each one of these is the number of points that it says, unless you're playing specific characters. I think it's the trader. Oh, nope. The pirate, for every point, for every one of these counts as, for each coin token earned is worth 2 victory points at the end of the game instead of 1. So here, so this, like this, each one, they're doubled. Okay. Also, each character has a different level progression. As soon as you conquer one of these places, and this is where it gets fiddly again, you take your little green thing here and you move it up 1 level on whichever track you pick. Because you start with the 4 squares where they start, and then you decide where you're going to raise them. This guy can raise his hand size from 7 to 8, and then from 8 to 10. And the first time he goes up, he gets a coin. The second time he goes up, he gets one of these bonus treasure cards. These treasure cards also have, see, on an occasion you have victory points there too. So there's a bunch of different ways to collect these points. You play for the number of rounds it takes for somebody to get to 8. We played this game with 4 players the other day. My 2 younger kids, me and my mom, their grandma. We played the game. It took about 45 minutes. It wasn't too hard once you got going because it gets more and more comfortable as you go along. You start to figure stuff out. But there are little things like some of the younger kids might forget. Oh, gee, I won one of these, but I forgot to move my little green square thing. And then each guy has a bonus thing. So there are sometimes when you gain a coin, you get to get a card. Or one person is every time you conquered one of these, you have to take 3 of these. And if you take 3 of these, you look at them all, you pick one, you put the other one down. And then there are things. So there are things like you can increase your sea encounters. So any one of these sea encounter things, which has the water. See how that's water, and this is not water. That's a sea encounter. That's a land encounter. That's the 2 types. So with the pirate, you can increase your sea encounters, or you can re-roll a die, or you can gain trophies, or you can up your hand size. So, and the trophies just give you extra points at the end. So the scoring part gets a little complicated. If you were to fail one of your attempts to take these things, you get to draw one of these little potion things, which gives you an extra bonus too. So even failing in this game doesn't mean you get nothing. That you get a reward at the end of every one of your turns, you're doing something, which is kind of a nice feeling. I like that. Overall, like I said, the game is a little more fiddly than some of the other games that this company puts out, even in this world. This is the one that is the most complicated of the 3, but it feels like a progression. It's nice. It's not something that's overly complicated. My 8 and 10-year-old were both capable of jumping in, playing the game, enjoying themselves. You're going to want to have a pretty good reading level. You're going to want to understand math, colors, making runs the same colors, or if you're getting of a kinds, like in my hand here, I had 2 6s, and then there's a 3 sitting there if I'd wanted to go that route. So we give this a hit for our family. It's not exactly a critical hit because I think that my younger kids would probably rather play Dragon Realm than this one. They liked putting out the little goblin tokens that they had with that game. But this is still a hit versus miss. We appreciated this a lot. We had a lot of fun. We played for, like I said, it was about 45 minutes. And we had to take a break in the middle because my older son was going to play. So we went to that. And we were able to stop the game, come back, and we were able to pick it up right away and get going again. Which is, I mean, that says something for the ease of your game. We enjoyed it. Like I said, I think this is a hit for our family. And really, I'm glad we supported it, and we will continue to support games that Games Right puts out. We think they're a great company. So that's it for this evening. From everybody here at the Man Cave, we want to say, until our next time, may all your rolls be crits.